What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I want to talk really quickly, because I'm almost out of battery here, about Carlos Castaneda's magical passes, and I also want to talk about the Tensegrity programs. When I talk about magical passes, folks, I'm referring to a book that Castaneda wrote called Magical Passes. And in that book, there are various different bodily movements that an individual can begin to practice that slowly over time change the energetic configuration of an individual. These magical passes, I know firsthand, will alter the mind. They lead to enhanced clarity, so many things. So magical passes, folks, there's a book, I think it was the last or close to the last book Castaneda wrote. It's basically a form of modified yoga, kind of similar to the the five Tibetan rites. I think that's what they're called. It's been a long time since I've read that book where the 5 Tibetan rites are mentioned. But the magical passes is a system of bodily movements that alters the energetic configuration and just makes your life better. But folks, it enhances clarity. There's so many times that I've used certain particular passes to solve issues that I had, that afterwards, after doing the passes for a prolonged period, incorporating some other things in them, it's like your mind gets to a point where it's like, okay, this makes sense. I know how to move forward. So this is a really short video. I don't have time to explain fully what the magical passes are. I'm just going to give a synopsis. There's also a DVD. So the book came out, Magical Passes, and a lot of people had issues with the book because the book doesn't show the passes. There's pictures of bodily movements, but it's hard to assimilate, right? So there's a DVD called Magical Passes that has become exceptionally, I wouldn't say exceptionally, but it's become somewhat difficult to find on DVD. You can find them for free on YouTube right now. The entire Magical Passes course. I would suggest downloading an app called ClipGrab, copy and paste the URL link so you can download this to your device and keep it, because you never know when stuff's going to be deleted off of YouTube or whatnot. And you want to be able to have this DVD so that you can look at, if you're interested in following the magical passes, which is something that I highly suggest doing. You're going to want a visual reference so that you know you're doing the actual passes properly, because if you don't do them properly, they do not work the way that they should. The book is simply not enough. The book is essential because there's information in the book that is not in the DVD, but you really want to embrace or begin practicing the magical passes by watching the DVD and implementing the passes. On top of that, folks, there's a program called Tensegrity, and there's 3 volumes. This is really where I suggest people start, not with the magical passes DVD, but with the Tensegrity programs, volumes 1, 2, and 3. I managed to get a DVD with all 3 programs. They're about an hour long each. I got a DVD, the actual real DVD of Castaneda. Castaneda produced a small amount of these DVDs. They're not available. They're not printing them anymore. But I managed to get one for under $20. And I managed to get I got magical passes for under $20, and I also got all 3 Tensegrity DVDs on the same DVD for like $8, and they usually go for about $55 to $70. So keep an eye out. You can also, alternatively, and I've provided the links multiple times here on the Patreon page, you can just watch the DVDs or the Tensegrity programs, volumes 1, 2, and 3, on YouTube. But you really want to download these. For one, so you don't have to listen to the ads. Download ClipGrab, copy and paste the URL, download all 3 of the Tensegrity programs. Now, Tensegrity, folks, when people hear that, they think, oh, Tensegrity, that's not a magical pass. Magical passes are only on the Magical Passes DVD. The bodily movements in Tensegrity are magical passes, folks. They are. And in fact, the best way to start is with Tensegrity Volume 1. Learn how to properly do aiding the flow of immunity. Learn the minor movements and the major movements. Practice them. Find the ones that speak to your soul. You'll notice an effect from these. So what I've done is I went through the entire Tensegrity Volume 1 DVD. I practiced all the movements, and there were certain movements that felt right to me and others that I felt like I didn't need, because they all do produce a different effect. You see, yoga, bodily movements, etc., they do affect consciousness. But we're not going to get into that in this video. I just want to make it really clear how to begin practicing the magical passes. Get the book. You can get them for under $5 usually on eBay. Get the DVDs, download the YouTube copies if you don't want to buy the DVDs, and start with Tensegrity Volume 1. Just slowly work through that, and don't get dogmatic about it, folks. Don't let yourself get worked up if you're struggling to do the passes. Just slowly move through it. Do 1 pass a day for 30 days. Do 2 for the, just do whatever works right for you, but don't get lazy, folks. You want to continue to practice these once you learn how to do them. Otherwise, you're not going to get the results. You'll find as you continue to practice the movements that over time you'll just begin to notice inconsistencies, or if you're moving your body incorrectly. I hope that makes sense. The more you do these passes, folks, the more your body, you'll naturally perfect the actual movements. And it's not truly until you perfect the movements, folks, that you really get the most out of these movements. Catch my drift? So it's just like anything else in life. You got to practice. Practice makes perfect, right? Let's go, Luna. Practice does indeed make perfect. And I think I've repeated myself multiple times, but just to make it clear one more time, to begin, you want the book, Magical Passes, and you want the Tensegrity programs and the actual Magical Passes DVD or the online copy, but you want to start practicing the movements in Tensegrity Volume 1. They're much easier than the stuff on Magical Passes. The Magical Passes DVD, although I love it, they move through the movements too quick. Tensegrity, it's much slower. You're able to gauge what they're doing better. You're able to really watch their bodily movements. And as you start to do these passes, other things in your life will begin to make more sense. Things will fall into alignment better. It's just the way that they work. I would also suggest reading the Teachings of Don Juan in tandem with all this. Start reading Castaneda's material. It's very, very important. I'm going to wrap this one up. May peace be with you.